In 1948, Lotus founder Colin Chapman built his first car, the Mark I, to compete in motorsports. Beginning with the fundamental belief that you maximize performance through efficiency and lightweight, Chapman went on to constantly change the rules of car design with a series of brilliant innovations that kept his Lotus race cars consistently at the head of the pack, and more often than not, in the winner's circle.
Lotus is inspired by its heritage, the heritage of creating great cars that were a little bit different from all the other sports cars around. And that was also how the Formula One team back in the 60s and 70s was very successful, by being a little bit different.
The Lotus racing heritage includes victories in Formula One, sports cars, Le Mans, World Rally Championships and club racing, with 7 Formula One Constructors' Championships, 6 Drivers' Championships and hundreds of other race wins and championships throughout the world. For more than 50 years, on racetrack and road alike, every Lotus car has possessed an exclusive blend of racing heritage, technical innovation and a passion for driving that has changed the rules of sports car design and manufacturing at every turn. The Type 14 Lotus Elite was the first car built on an all-glass fiber monocoque chassis. Using innovations in material science, Chapman's beautiful Elite was far lighter than those made with traditional tubing and steel. As stunning today as it was almost 40 years ago, the Elite went on to win the Index of Performance at Le Mans. The Type 25 was the first Formula One car to use a monocoque chassis. Extremely light and rigid, it provided speed and agility that made the most of its 1.5-litre Coventry Climax engine. With Jim Clark at the wheel, the Type 25 and its successor, the Type 33, would go on to dominate Formula One racing for the next 4 seasons, winning 20 Grand Prix race and World Championships in 1963 and 1965, making it the most successful Formula One car of its time. The Lotus Type 78 was the first Formula One car to use the Venturi principle to turn the entire bottom of the car into a downforce generator, using side pods to create a vacuum underneath the car. The follow-up, Type 79, refined the principle and resulted in a car that took Mario Andretti to the World Drivers' Championship in 1978. The Type 79 also brought Lotus its 7th Constructors' Championship. Another prime example of Lotus's innovation in advanced composites and structures, Lotus applies the monocoque approach to bicycling, helping Chris Boardman pedal away to a gold medal and world record at the 1992 Olympic Games in Barcelona on the Lotus 108. Lotus unveils its award-winning all-aluminum monocoque chassis. This revolutionary chassis is constructed from 26 individual aluminum extrusions that utilize an epoxy adhesive and E-Jot self-tapping steel rivets for mechanical control while the epoxy cures. The resulting chassis is a mere 150 pounds and stiff enough to support the finely tuned Lotus Elise suspension.
At Lotus, we often use the phrase change the rules. This means we are not constrained by convention. If we were constrained by convention, we'd have never bonded a vehicle structure together primarily out of aluminium extrusions. It's that philosophy which drives the design community in the company.
Every time you increase the weight of the vehicle, you increase the horsepower you need, you then increase the size of the brakes, everything gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and in the end you lose any finesse, you lose any feeling of excitement. There's no response to the vehicle.
Performance through lightweight was one of the fundamental keystones in how Colin Chapman decided to develop cars. It was about finding materials and ways of making cars lighter, but it was also about eliminating things that were not necessary or get things in the car, components, to do more than one thing.
And that's why with the Elise, a 190 horsepower engine can deliver 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.9 seconds.